How is it going, you lovely lot? Welcome back to Tokyo Rising and welcome back to the postseason. If you're sat looking at this screen thinking, Jack, I'm getting deja vu. Last episode you took on Vonds. Yeah, Vonds. Bloody Vonds. They've made it through the Shakaijin Cup to the promotion playoff stage. They won in the fourth place playoff. Interestingly enough, the team that actually beat in that third place playoff won their regional league. They are also in our group. And well, here are the groups for the National Regional League finals. We are in Group C alongside Veros Kronos as well. Yes, that is right. A reuniting with a team we played in the championship stage last year. Vonds, of course, in our own division. We also have Asocias. I feel like this is one of those Spanish team names where they've taken like a European name and repurposed it. I'm just going to call them Kyoto for the sake of this. I'm aware that's just the place, and there's probably many teams in Kyoto, but it just works for the sake of not being wrong every time I say it. And you may have spotted it in the other groups. Group A, Shibuya City in that one. They actually lost their opening game, of course. They won the championship stage last year, but due to the fact they play many divisions below us, they didn't actually get promoted because Football Manager's weird. And meanwhile, over in Group B, Nankatsu exist. Yeah, that is right. Nankatsu also making it through alongside Vonds. They actually, as you can see here, lost in the Shakaijin Cup final, but as a top 3 finisher, they got a spot. What that does mean is that in our division of 10 teams in the Kanto Soccer League Division 1, 3 of our teams are playing in this championship promotion stage. I feel like that indicates that not only are we in a strong league, but also because we did well against these teams, we should be one of the favourites to go up this year. But to do that, we need to step up in these 3 games coming up today. 3 massive matches, doing them all live. Don't go anywhere. Let's run the intro and get straight into the first one. Today, by the way, is episode number 12 of this series. We are heading towards the end of Season 2, and I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be quite the conclusion. We navigated this group stage last year. Given the fact we're taking on Vonds in the first game today, who we beat last episode, I feel like we have to back ourselves today. Now, since last episode, there's been a big issue with injuries at the club. Now, the good news is it is November. There's been about 2 months since we were last here. We did have the Ichihara Cup to play, and I'll cover those fixtures very quickly. It's not really a competition I'm going to get distracted by, given the importance of the games today. But crucially, both Kobayashi and Aoki, our left backs, are injured and both, well, not ready for fitness tests. They are both out at least to start today. Of course, worth remembering, the games that we're playing today happen in the space of 3 days. So yeah, first and second choice left back both injured. Elsewhere, Hattori, who to be honest wouldn't be anywhere near the first team, he's injured too. And Matsumoto, who maybe would have found himself on the bench, is also slowly but surely coming back from injury. He is not fit enough. He has been out for quite a long while. He's missed 2 months of football. One man who has been missing some football, but you can see here has passed a fitness test, is Otter. I've been told he can only play 45 minutes. I feel like this boy just has to start the game today, doesn't he? He has 15 goals in 15 games in the league. I'm going to hope he can carry that form into the postseason. Now, as I mentioned, we have been playing in the Ichihara Cup. This is kind of the postseason tournament that's a regional one, but to be honest, if you're in the championship stages like we are for promotion, you don't really want to get distracted by this. 2 teams in the division below us alongside Hitachi Building Systems. We won 3 games out of 3. I won't cover these in any detail. Some really good, comfortable results. Fully rotated the team for the final game, meant that we're fully fit for today's game, at least from a condition perspective. Obviously, resting players doesn't cure injuries. That'd be good if it did. It's weird. I feel like we've had more injuries this year than last year. When you look at the graph, that isn't the case. What I would say is the injuries that we have had have been a lot of major injuries, as you can see here, and especially more recently, there has been a fair few significant injuries creeping into the team. Kobayashi and Aoki, undeniably the 2 big misses that are just unavailable for this end of season run, and it means that Chishima is going to play left back. He's the only left back I have in the squad. He was also my depth at right back. So fullback injuries today could be disastrous. Because we're playing in Group C, we are playing the penultimate game of the day. It's 5:30. It's not too late for our players. Of course, next game is tomorrow. The next game after that is the day after. I hate the fact that this is how it works. Veros Kronos as well. We drew against them last year. That cost us promotion. They bottled the playoff final, you might remember. They're going to be desperate to go up this year. We're desperate to go up. Potentially one of us isn't making it to that Final 4 championship stage. Now, in spite of the fact we have been juggling a fair few injuries, and there's definitely a lack of match sharpness across the team, the good news is when it comes to the starting 11, it's fairly uncompromised. Tamiya, you can see here, doesn't need a fitness test. He's coming back from injury. Nakajima's also been been coming back from injury and is allegedly only going to be able to play 45 minutes. Given his condition, I might chance him a little bit. The left midfielder has been, well, one of our best goal-scoring threats, both assist-wise and goal-wise this year. I absolutely need him in the team. And Otter, as I mentioned, only fit enough to play 45 minutes. A little bit less concerned about him. I feel like he's the kind of player who I can take off because I have absolute faith in the likes of Akai and also Fukumoto to come on off the bench if needed and grab us some goals. Now, of course, just last episode, we took on Vonds away from home and won 3-1. We're looking for a repeat of that today. Vonds, by the way, they're still playing their three-at-the-back system with two centre attacking mids. I thought it'd make them more difficult to break down last episode, and yet we were able to score 3. An early goal here would be nice. Ida, where are you going, son? Well, the answer is straight into the hands of the goalkeeper. The run was superb. The finish, less good. 20 minutes into this game, just as a reminder, one of 3 group stage deck games. We are doing them all today, no away days as well, I'm afraid to say, although all these games do take place at a neutral venue. Interesting to note, I believe in real life, all 3 groups take place in different cities over a weekend. Can you imagine being a fan of one of these teams? You just get to go and watch a big football tournament with your team for one weekend. What a party that must be. What a party I thought we might be about to have. Watanabe's shot goes over. Glover, by the way, their right back, he's over the free kick here. I was just going to mention the fact he's on a bucking. I'll tell you what, he's crunched the crossbar there. Get it away, Chishima. That will do. So far in this game, Vonds' only shot was that free kick that hit the crossbar. Besides that, they've not created a great deal, he says. As they create a great deal, all of a sudden, their goalkeeper going to kick it forward here. Watanabe wins it nicely. Otter to Ida. If I'm going to heed the advice of my physio, Otter isn't going to be on the pitch for much longer. I should take him off at half-time. This is the kind of game that might be screaming out for Akai, although Otsuka, he's going to float it. Otter's under it. Punched away. Uno lays his reverse card and gets it away, and now it's with Anishi to bring the ball forward for them. Through the middle he goes. Options inside if he can pick them out. We need to stop the ball coming in, and we can't. Matsuoka's there, and somewhat against the run of play, Vonds take a lead in this one. We know it could potentially be a long and grueling postseason, and knowing all the injuries that we've got, getting leads early on in games and then just being able to slow down the tempo and save legs could be important. Based on what's happened here, that is not going to be an option to us. Right, Ida, can you provide some inspiration, not with a pass like that before half-time, but I really need us to show just something. I'm already thinking, do I need to go to the more attacking system in this game? They're playing the 3 at the back. They're playing a very defensive style of play. We're having actually more of the ball, which leads me to believe he's given a penalty for that. Sorry, what the dickens has happened there? There's a penalty. There is actually a pissing penalty. Higino's going to take it. I'm looking at Matsuzawa, who's back in goal, back from injury, to step up and perform. He goes the wrong way. 37 minutes into this game. I might be overreacting. I'm going to the attacking style of play. Nakajima, Watanabe, get up the pitch, lads. I mean, in terms of starts we could have had to today's match and episode, this is definitely the least optimal. Just as a reminder, the best second place team does also go through. 2 wins might be enough to get you that, but naturally, we want to and we need to try and come back in this game. They've not created a great deal. I feel like that penalty was soft, but, I mean, it's been given. And I feel like this, like I said, is a game for Akai to come on and have an impact. Mitsuhashi at right back is playing atrociously. Due to all the injuries at left back and with kind of my versatile fullback options, I don't have anyone else to bring in, so we just have to stare at Mitsuhashi and pray that he just plays a little bit better. Gonna tell the midfield I've got faith in them and the attackers as well. Otter, did I not make the sub? I did make the sub. Otter, mate, you're coming off. You don't need to worry about looking fired up. You can chill your beans. Okay, start the second half. We're gonna try and play on the front foot. Akai is on, the secret weapon. I feel like Akai is the kind of player who's one, well, more heroic performance away from me, bringing him into the first team as a regular starter. That pass there, by the way, absolutely awful. Kitamura now bringing it forward for them. Lays it back to Matsuoka. He's going to lay it forward to Uno. Inside now to Taniguchi. Looks to play it wide to Glover. They have got a man on the overlap. Chishima deals with it. Matsuzawa, the goalkeeper, is going to launch it clear. Still very early on in this game, although I need Akai to win headers in those kind of situations. That's what we've brought him in to try and, well, win the flick-ons with. He's not won it, and now suddenly the ball's with Anishi through the middle. And Matsuzawa, for the first time I can ever remember, has actually made a save. Watanabe over the corner, whipping it in, back post. Akai was there. It's headed away once, it's headed away twice and cleared away. But Ida, well, he's going to mop up the pieces and try and get the ball back into a dangerous area. Kim now with it to Ida. The 2 big earners, I need them to step up in games like this. Mitsuhashi, options in the middle for the right back to aim for. Skips past his man, floats in. Nakajima's there on the volley. It's 2-1. Do not count us out just yet. There is still well. 40 minutes left in this game. It's a very familiar sight to see Nakajima on the far post. He's a man who likes to lurk in the shadows and strike when no one expects. He's like a ninja. Ninja Nakajima, they call him on the streets. And I'll tell you what, we're going to need him to come up with more ninja action sneaking in as this game goes on. There's another immediate highlight here. We have a chance. Higino. I say we have a chance. I feel like we have a chance to get to it. They're rocked. They're on the back foot. They're mentally boomed. Watch them now go up our end and just score immediately. What a... I'm glad that didn't happen. That was almost mental. Okay, I'm going to make some changes here. Otsuka has been poor. Fukumoto on you come. Elsewhere in the team, Hasegawa I'm going to bring in for Watanabe. That could be controversial, but Hasegawa here is very, very good. Watanabe has not turned up when we needed him to. On top of that, with him not playing well, I feel like this is the kind of competition where you can almost justify taking off even star players not playing well, because they've got to play tomorrow anyway, so you might as well save their fitness if they're having a bad game, and hope that with a night's rest, they play better. There's 20 minutes left here. We've created a lot more in this second half. They've had their fair share of chances, but there's no highlights happening. Right, Ida, you are currently on deep line playmaker, mate. You're now going to play as an advanced playmaker on attack. We are going to commit men forward in this game to try and make something happen. Just to compensate slightly, I'm going to tell Mitsuhashi just to be on support. In transition now, What do you do? What do you do in this situation? I don't really want to change our approach play, I don't think, too radically. I like the fact that we use the wide areas. Maybe we don't need to focus down those wide areas quite as much. Let's look to pass into space, play with a much higher tempo now. And is there anything else I can really change here? I guess we can go with get stuck in, but then again, I don't want to get suspension, so I don't really want to do that either. You know what? I've made enough changes here. I don't want to over-tinker. I'm looking at the sub options thinking, do I have any other changes I could realistically make? And I'll be honest, the subs bench looks very uninspiring right now. Gonna shout, demand more. 10 minutes left in this game. We need to show a bit of fight. They've got a corner here. This scares me slightly. We've been good at defending these typically, and yet there's pressure on us now. Uno taking his time here. He's going to whip it in. It's headed away once, but only as far as Akita for them, who's going to keep the ball alive. Sawa puts in half a tackle. The shot, though, goes in anyway. And Sora Akita, first goal of the season for him. He turns up and scores it now. Vonds are 3-1 up. We haven't lost to Vonds in the league season when it's come to the regional kind of league stage. We did really, really well against them. But in this game here, the postseason game that really matters, they've embarrassed us. It's 3-1. We have to remind ourselves the best second place team also goes through. There's still a lot of football to be played. We don't need to panic just yet. We saw twists and turns last postseason. Maybe there's going to be some more because Nakajima's grabbed his second. He's on for a hat-trick. There's 6 minutes left. It might not be over yet, folks. Although it could be over. There's not actually that much time. Nakajima turns his man, goes on his lonesome, thinks, you know what? I'm just going to do it myself. Did it deflect in off a defender? Yeah, it did. Let's not let that ruin the narrative. Okay, there is very little time left in this game. I'm going to go very attacking to see things... Well, I was going to say see things out. That makes it sound like we're going to be defensive. No, we are throwing men forward at this point. Ida... Up you go, son. I'm actually going to bring in Sayuki, I think, just to get in some fresh legs. Mitsuhashi, at this point, mate, you might as well go on attack. We might as well just throw everyone forward. Goal difference could be a factor. Rescuing a point here would be a much, much bigger factor, wouldn't it? In transition, distribute it over the top. Goalkeeper, just lump it long when you can. In fact, you know what? Distribute it to a position. Distribute it to Akai. Just lump it forward to the big man. And when we do have the ball, hit early crosses. Just get it forward quickly at this point. We need a miracle. We need a goal. I feel like at this point, I've done everything I can. I'm just going to take my hands off the wheel and hope. There's 4 minutes of added time. We've got a corner. Sayuki pulls it to Nakajima. He's got 2 already. He couldn't do it again, could he? Not with a attempt like that. The ball is cleared away. We've got absolutely no one back here. So Nakajima has got a long old run to keep this ball alive. 4 minutes and counting. Chishima, makeshift left back, plays it to Tamiya. Tsuyuki is under it. It's headed away once. Taniguchi now has it and gives it back to Taniguchi number 2 for them. That must be confusing for their manager in his live commentaries. That is a shocking header. Mitsuhashi can't get the interception. And there's a lot of men in green here. And there's not many players in white getting near the ball. They've absolutely carved us open. Anishi, one-on-one, shoots. Matsuzawa makes another save. That, sadly, though, is the highlight. And I think that is just going to be that. Vonds are going to win here 3-2. And that is potentially the worst possible start to today's episode. My worry here is that I'm going to regret the fact that we didn't, get promoted last year when we were really, really close. Maybe that was our time to shine because this is an absolute gauntlet to run. And that was an absolutely disastrous start to it. Nakajima, by the way, did get man of the match. We'll give him a little bit of praise there. That defeat, though, is problematic. Elsewhere, Veros Kronos won. It means in our next game, if we fail to win, we're pretty much guaranteed to not be promoted this year. We're taking on Kyoto, who also lost their opening game. So whoever loses this game is going home, well, potentially, bottom. Let's hope we can get a win. That game is tomorrow. I'll rest up the players, not that it's going to make any kind of difference whatsoever. Don't go anywhere. We need a miracle now. Okay, folks, games have been played. Day later, and a bit of bad news for us, really. In Group B, Nankatsu and Fuji 2003 have both won their first 2 games. It means that one of those teams is guaranteed to be the second best placed team in that group with a minimum of 6 points. It means that if we want to make it out of our group as that second best placed team, we have to win here. And even that probably won't be enough due to goal difference. Nankatsu and Fuji play on the final day. Yeah, I don't even know what the tiebreaker is. I assume for second place teams, it's going to be goal difference. Truthfully, once you lose one game in this stage, you kind of lose any right to pick your destiny. We just have to accept we're in a crap situation. Let's prevent going out with a game left. Now, looking at player fitness, it's really not ideal for this game. I think I am going to take off Nakajima. I know he played really well last game, but there was already questions over his fitness, and Hasegawa is not a bad little left mid option for us. Elsewhere in the team, I look at the defence, and they look a little worse for wear. As I mentioned earlier, in terms of fullback coverage, Kobayashi is meant to be the coverage left back and right back. He's injured right now, and he's definitely not fit enough to play. Aoki would potentially be a player that allows us to shuffle things around at the back. He's still injured also. So the sad reality is, whilst we have tired players, there's nothing I can really do about it. In terms of in the final third, I think actually for today's game, I'm going to start Akai over Otsuka. Akai, by the way, has also been coming back from injury and is only eligible to play 45 minutes. Do I really want to play Akai and Otta when they're both only meant to play 45 minutes? This might be a stupid decision. I'm going to start Otta on the bench. I feel like Otta's pace is good against tiring teams. I'm going to play Akai in the first half. We'll evaluate his performance, but Otta will be our kind of trump card up our sleeve. Tell you what, when you look at the fitness levels of our players, it's really not an ideal situation, is it? Player fitness at this kind of point in the season is always a bit of a problem. With all the injuries that we've had and players not eligible to play, well, full matches, at least in the eyes of my staff, it does make that challenge that little bit more difficult. I'm looking at their team, by the way. They've got lots of players with faces. I did also notice they've got 2 foreign players in their ranks, a Ghanaian and a South Korean goalkeeper. To me, that screams quality. Just for a little bit of context, here is Park Bum-soo. He is their key man in goal. He's a very, very good player. And in fact, if we just look at their team on the whole, they have got a little bit of quality. I feel like on paper, we do have a better team. But paper doesn't win football matches, does it? I mean, maybe the dream scenario is that Vonds and Nankatsu both get promoted this year, and then I don't have to worry about them being in my league next year. That could be good. Then again, they finished 4th and 5th in the group, didn't they? It's not even like they were the best teams in the Kanto Division 1. Well, halfway through this first half, there's been 1 shot so far in this game. It was, for us, considering this is 2 teams playing for their lives, doesn't really have that vibe. Of course, just as a reminder, both teams have to win to stand a chance of going up. A defeat here for either team would be the end of the road, as the good player there just went for an overhead kick. That's disconcerting, isn't it? There's 10 minutes left of the first half. I think I've seen enough. I'm going to the 4-2-4. You can't stop me. I'm going on the front foot. It kind of worked against Vonds for a little bit. Naturally, when we threw players further up the pitch, it then left us more open. But I feel like there comes a point where we need to gamble. I was hoping we might see an immediate return on our gamble. It's not really materialised like that just yet, although with 45 seconds left of the half, maybe I'm speaking too soon, because that guy, well... He's gone through the middle and done that. That was the first highlight of the game. It's the last highlight of the half. And look at that XG story. I feel like neither team deserves to go up at this point. I'm going to get shouty. Sauer looks anxious. You know what? Sauer, come here, mate. I'll have a little chat with him. You weren't bad, but you can improve. He's inspired. Great team talk. Okay, I am going to take off Akai in this game just because of his lack of fitness. We're going to bring in Otta. Elsewhere, Nakajima coming on for Hasegawa, who's not played very well at left, attacking mid in this game. Bringing on 2 of the big guns. Last match's player of the match was maybe a gamble not to start with either of them because they are 2 of our better players, but fitness levels goals were a concern. I wanted to believe that we could at least go toe-to-toe against Kyoto. We've done that through the first half. Now against a tiring team, I'm hoping that the big guns being unleashed are going to turn up trumps. Suka goes down in, well, a mess. That has got to be a penalty, hasn't it? It is going to be a penalty, and it is going to be Otter over it. He's been on the pitch 4 minutes. He's probably barely touched the ball, the striker. Number 9, does he have a plan? He's bloody missed it. I can't believe it. Last year, penalties were so decisive, weren't they, in that end of season running? They were a big, big decider as to just how the season played out. And sadly for us, we've missed a penalty there. A golden ticket to put ourselves ahead, and we've thrown it all away. Coming up to an hour played here, our players are absolutely exhausted. Ida, I'm going to have to take off for Sayuki. Elsewhere, I'm going to bring in Messiah for Kim at centre-back. Messiah has now learnt to play centre-back, by the way, so that's good news. That's good. The fact that's the good news for today really tells you how badly today's episode's going. Okay, I've made 4 subs. I've got 1 more left if I need it, but truthfully, with 25 minutes left, I feel like I've just got to hold on to it for now. We need something in this game, a draw, and our season is done. I'm sure Kyoto here know that it's the exact same for them. Neither teams look particularly inspiring in this game, and time is nearly up. Now, Chishima here at left back is absolutely exhausted. I'm going to take him off, and I'm going to do something probably stupid. I mean, it is stupid. I want to bring in Fukumoto. You know what? I'm gonna bring in Fukumoto. I'm gonna play him at centre attack in mid, and I'm going to free at the back. I will at this point, by the way, remove the distribute to fullback option that we've got on. Has just dawned on me, Mitsuhashi is gonna have to play at centre back today as a right back. He's going to learn it on the job. I've got to throw players forward, haven't I? I've got to take a gamble at some point in this game. We're going to look to distribute it to a specific position. That position is going to be... I feel like just kick it for Otter to run onto. That's my game plan now. And in terms of pressing, we want to force them inside if we can, given the fact we've not got fullbacks. We're going to look to get stuck in as well. At this point, I don't need to worry about sendings off and stuff. In terms of everything else, I mean, what more do you change here? I really don't want to overcomplicate things. I'm going to lower the directness slightly, I think. And I'm going to ask the players to play through the middle whilst playing narrow. You know what? I'm just abandoning all of our style of play because I need something to happen in the last 15 minutes. Inherently, this is a gamble, but if I sat and played the 4-2-4 to the end of the game, given the fact it failed for us last game, I would live with regret for not trying something radical. We are going to try something radical here. Fukumoto on off the bench. Otsuka misses the mark. I think it may have even been blocked or saved wide. It was half a chance for us, and with 9 minutes left, I mean, we still do have a corner here. Nakajima, the man over it, on off the bench, whipping it back post. Fukumoto headers it over. There is, however, another highlight immediately. I suppose my concern at this point is I'm throwing so many players forward, but there's going to be highlights either way. Otter, though, has scored. It's 1-0. That is a goal that keeps our slender promotion hopes alive. And now the question becomes, what do I do from here? What do you do in this situation right now? You know, we're a goal to the good. I've made all my subs. I've not really got defenders to move back at this point. I feel like we just stay with what we're playing. You know what? Football Manager, sometimes you overcomplicate things, don't you? And you play defensive and it doesn't work out. I'm not going to make that mistake here. We have been the better team in this game. We've created more. We've had the better chances. And I'm going to hope I'm not about to regret my decision. They're on the attack here. That is a big tackle. Tamiya, Sauer. Let's get another, guys. We've been brave here. Otter has space on off the bench. The game plan of saving him seems to be working as he brings it forward again. And that goal there that was saved wide would have given us, well, the hope on the final day of a miracle. Nakajima on off the bench himself. There's still 4 minutes left here. Love this time wasting, by the way. Give him a round of applause for that. Fukumoto wins a header again. Can't keep it down again. Why can this game not just end? There's another highlight. It's a goal kick this occasion. It's going to be flicked on Mitsuhashi, slotting in at centre-back today. He's never played centre-back before in his life, putting in a good performance so far. They are looking to press high and hard. If we beat the initial press, though, I feel like there's a chance to do something in behind here. Watanabe, Fukumoto. This is pretty. This is actually really, well, nice until that moment. Watanabe, though, keeps it alive. Mitsuhashi, Sayuki. This is, we look good. Should this be our new tactic? Sauer, let's get another, lads. Let's make this game set and match. He's cutting inside. He goes down. It's another penalty. Is Otter taking it again? Is Otter... Oh, okay, I've got it set up so if a player misses, someone different takes it. I was concerned Otter was about to take it again. Instead, our hopes rest on Otsuka. He steps up. He scores. It's 2-0. It does our goal difference a world of good, which could be important. And, well, we survive a scare. Imagine if I'd gone to the re-attacking style of playing conceded. Imagine the comment section. You guys would have gone for me. I've been brave. I've stuck out my gonads on the line. My gonads will live to fight, well, another day. There's 3 minutes left of the added time. Let's get a third. Goal difference could be the all-important factor in this group stage. Getting as many goals as we can could be critical. Why not get a third? Watanabe, Otter, in behind again. One-on-one, should finish it. Doesn't finish it. We've had a lot of chances here, haven't we? The good news is, though, those chances aren't going to cost us. It is full-time here. Otter missed a penalty. Watanabe, man of the match. And I know he missed a penalty. Otter did look very good in this game, didn't he? Nice work, everyone. We got the win that we needed. Interesting now to see what happens elsewhere. Vonds v Veros Kronos. We played Veros Kronos in our last game. So in a weird way, them winning by a singular goal against Vonds is probably the best result for us, as weird as that sounds. If that happens, there is a chance of a three-way tie with 3 teams on 6 points. Sadly, Vonds didn't get the memo. They've beaten Veros Kronos 4-2. And that means that we're pretty much now gunning for that best second-place team spot, which really isn't the situation I wanted to find myself in. Basically, Fuji v Nankatsu, we need one of those teams to lose, and then whoever loses, we then need to do better than their goal difference. This is not comfortable, is it? Fukumoto wants to start more games. Mate, you could not head the ball on target last game. Absolutely not. I've got bigger fish to fry. We need to see how results go elsewhere. Crucially, we need there to be a winner in the Nankatsu versus Fuji 2000 game. Because if that game ends in a draw, we can't get promoted. And this last game will just be a really sad affair. Crucially, there was a winner. Nankatsu, what a turn of fortunes. They may have done us the biggest of big favours. They have won 5-2. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does that mean? That means that if we win this game here, we could go ahead of Fuji on goal difference as the best second place team. I'll win them fine. If Veros Kronos win, though, they'd also be the team that goes up. Essentially, whoever wins this next game gets goes into the next stage, doesn't get promoted. Not yet. A draw, neither of us do. Veros Kronos, the old enemy. At this point, we're BFFs with them. We clashed against them last year and drew. We have to win the game now. So Vonds have made it to the championship stage. Nankatsu have made it to the championship stage. I want to follow in their footsteps. I'm looking at my team here thinking, how am I meant to follow in their footsteps? We have a lot of tired players here, and it's a little less than ideal. I feel like I have got to rotate things at least a little bit for this game. But I did like the plan of keeping Otter on the bench. He is still apparently only fit enough to play 45 minutes. I'm going to hold him back, I think, in this game. Watanabe, I'm also just going to hold back because of his condition. I feel like this postseason, a lot of the time, is about squad management. We have depth in the wide area with Hasegawa. Akai and Otsuka have proven their worth, I think, in the final third across this season. We just need to have one last big performance today. When we took on Veros Kronos last year, a slip-up against them meant that they ended up getting that second-place spot and having a shot in that relegation playoff against the second-bottom JFL team. I do not want to give them a chance to get promoted this year. There's a chance, by the way, that if we win this game, there will be 3 Kanto Division 1 teams in the Final 4, which I think is a testament to how strong our league is. Here is their team. Young Hyung here, I believe, is their best player out on the left-hand side. And yeah, whoever wins is into the Final 4. It's as simple as that. Why is there a kickoff highlight? Football Manager, why is there a kickoff highlight? Kajisuka, Sawa, Ida threads it through the middle. Otter would get there. Otsuka is not. He's not quick enough. Hasegawa, though, wins a nice little header. Otsuka, fouled. We're going to play on here as Hasegawa has it. The ball's whipped in. Akai! I mean, we need his heading presence. It was shown there. I'm going to hope Otsuka's not badly injured. He was rolling around. We're already light on strikers. Looks like he's going to be fine. I didn't think that anything could be more dramatic than last year's end-of-season kind of playoff run. This year's has been equally bonkers. Maybe Japan's got it figured out. Maybe this is how you make the postseason of football seasons interesting. Just put all the good teams in one big group stage and watch the chaos happen. Hopefully, we're going to rise above the chaos as Tsushima, our third-choice left-back, scores his first goal of the season. What a time to do it. Hasegawa brought into the team today. Nakajima back in the starting 11 to Ida. And then, well, Tsushima found a bit of space. He tucks it away. And 20 minutes in, we have the lead we need. So just if results stay as they are here, we'd be second place in our group with a goal difference of 2. In the other group, you can see Fuji 2003, because they got battered by Nankatsu 5-2, they're on 6 points, but with a -1 goal difference. So if I'm not mistaken, we would be that, well, 4th team that sneak in. A draw, though, and we would slip immediately out. So we have to keep our wits about us here. As much like last game, it's not really a classic in terms of the number of highlights, but the highlight that we needed has come and gone. The game can end now, for all I'm concerned. Ida, Otsuka, Mitsuhashi. Not sure about that pass to Mitsuhashi, it has to be said, but the right back still has it here. He was playing at centre-back last game. Now he's back in his natural habitat. Sawa, edge of the box, could go back wide. Does. Hasegawa keeps it in. Akai is there. Akai heads it goalwards. It's his 16th of the season. How is that for a super sub? He's doing the bloody robot. Pierre Crouch is his idol confirmed. And yet, this was a very Akai goal, wasn't it? You know, when people look up Sharod Akai in the dictionary, this is what they see. A gif of this. Look at him. He's headed it in from a yard out. I don't want to get carried away, but if we do now go on to get out of this kind of group stage and then eventually get promoted, what a turnaround it will have been, having been, well, defeated by Vonds, to then go on and win our next 2 games and do everything that we could to really turn things around, especially in that last game. It would be a crazy, monumental effort, but maybe I'm counting my chickens before they hatch, because Veros Kronos are a good team. I've got to show them some respect. Ida's injured. That's not good for today. We'll bring in Tsuyuki, I guess, to play as the advanced playmaker. But crucially, if he's out for a little while, he might not be available for the next stage of the playoffs, if indeed we're going to get there. At the break, we're doing what we need to be doing. We're playing really well, actually. I do not need to overcomplicate things, I don't think. Okay, you know what? Akai got told he shouldn't play the full game. He looks like he's struggling a little bit. Let's bring in our secret weapon. Otter Onyukum, Watanabe Onyukum also. Nakajima really struggling now at left midfield. Sawa is exhausted at centre mid. I'm going to move Messiah up, and Kim is going to come in at centre back. We are really shuffling around the team, making use of our squad. Okay, subs made. We have brought on fresh legs. We've shuffled things around. We're making use of our full squad. They've only had 1 shot on target, so with 20 minutes left, 2 goals to the good. I am feeling quietly confident. Tsushima, the left-footed left-back, is going to be here to whip it in. Kim to Otter. If that's how we're going to make it to the next stage, I'm perfectly fine with it. Kim to Otter, the potentially my favourite goal I've ever seen in Football Manager this year. I've seen overhead kicks. I've seen crazy long shots. How about this on the volley? He doesn't even move. He barely swings through the ball. He just taps it Otter on the volley. He might be injured. He might only be able to play 45 minutes. He's turned up for the 20 minutes he's been on the pitch here. This might be really unpopular, but 3-0 up, given how things are going. Lads, just chill out. You know, drop off more. Let's not rush around. We don't need to distribute the ball quickly. Let's just see out this game and save our legs. If we can avoid running around for 20 minutes, that's potentially going to be pretty valuable to us in the post-season. They have got a chance here with Awatari. The ball's played forward. We can't get there. Yoon Hyung squares it. They get 1 back. Part of me's now thinking, do I need to panic? Should I undo the changes I've just made? I don't need to. It's offside. Thank you, Football Manager gods. I feel like they've not got the memo. You know, they're meant to be giving up, lads. It's 3-0. Your season's done. A draw isn't good enough. You're not going to score 4 goals in the last 5 minutes. Just give up the ghost. Messiah reads it nicely in the middle. Otter, did he stay onside? He did stay onside. It's another absolutely ridiculous goal. Is he the player of the save game so far? I think he has to be. I mean, at this point, I'm not even shocked when his shots like this go in. Matsuyuka picks it up and then lays it to Otter, who just pings it into the top corner. That is outrageous, isn't it? There's another highlight. Lads, you're 4-0 down. You were 3-0 down and you had no chance of staying, in the promotion fight. You have absolutely no chance now. In some ways, them scoring would help save me paying out clean sheet bonuses, I guess. We'll take it. That's money saved. Okay, 4 minutes of added time has been played. It's gone. We've won 4-1, and I'm now just hoping that the database is all set up correctly, so we will qualify as the second best placed team. I believe this highlighted indicator on us means we have done enough. We qualify for the championship. It's an absolute bloody miracle, but we are going to be playing alongside Nankatsu, Vonds, and Sky Earth. I mean, 2 of those are just teams in our own division. In some ways, it's an unexciting way to end the year. In other ways, it's kind of nice. It's against some familiar foes. Otter, by the way, another absolutely incredible performance by him. This man, maybe I should just always sub him on. He seems to do quite well on off the bench. Now, as already mentioned, 3 of the final 4 teams are from the Kanto Soccer League Division 1. That's a good reflection of our league, I think. Skyer for the other team to do well in their group. They actually won their group last year as well, but then lost in that previous stage. Their key player is Kaneko, the goalkeeper. Does actually look quite good. Now, you'll notice here in the top left corner, I play Nankatsu in 3 days' time. That's in the Ichihara Cup. I will be playing the most rotated B-team ever for that, because crucially, we are all about the regional league stages. They kick off with a game against Sky Earth. That game is in 10 days. Obviously, we're doing that stage tomorrow. Genuinely, when we lost that first game against Vonds, I figured our season may well be over. But we have fought back valiantly, some really good performances, a chance now to maybe rest up the players, maybe in positions like left back, get some players back in the team and fit, and crucially, try and get rid of Nankatsu and Vonds. I don't want to have to play them next year. I suppose either way, there's a very high chance I won't be playing one of them next year, because either we get promoted or one of them gets promoted. Hopefully you've enjoyed another absolutely insane end to the Japanese end of season stuff. There's still one last chapter of it to be written. We will be back tomorrow for that. I'll see you guys for it next time. Take things easy. It's me, Jack, and I'll see you all next time. I'm out. That was an awful outro, but we'll keep it. We do it live here.